Okay, what's going on, boys? No guys here. Welcome back to the weekly tactic update, the meta tactic update for both old gen and new gen, whether you're going for rank 1, higher league division, and let's go straight into it. Now, just in the usual fashion, I'm going to go over it. So we added a new formation, the 3-4-2-1 that defends in the 4-4-2 from yesterday's video. We got a formation to start the game with, that's to close the game out and to play for all aspects. One that's more attacking, one that's even more attacking and more aggressive, and then we have the true comeback formation, which I mentioned before. We're going to go through these all again as usual. Now, the 4-2-3-1. Now, just a bit of change here on the width. Now, this is the one that I used to start the game with. Now, this is also the formation I used to close the game out. If you remember my other video, I made the tactic with the extra striker. That is what I do. So I may sub on someone like Perisic or move someone there to use this formation. But basically, this 4-2-3-1 is very, very balanced. You know, 45. It was 45. We reduced it down to 37, just because of the meta that's going around. Especially with the 3-4-2-1, you find that the three centre forwards again up against the 2 CDMs, their line sometimes a bit too wide. Long ball forward runs 45 and 7. Now, this is a very balanced formation. We have the striker on stay central, getting it behind, stay forward. The cam is also on stay forward. So it kind of acts like a 4-4-1-1 out of possession. We've got the lamb ram on comeback and defense. You can leave them on default. Now, both CDMs on cut passing lane, step out and cover center, left back, right back, stay back. Now, this is the good staple. If I need to move a player forward, I can always trigger this player forward manually using the L1 button myself. That's where I supplement my attack. People ask me though, is this sometimes too offensive for when you're trying to close the game out? Well, all I do simply, if I am winning, I may reduce the depth down to like 30, and then I may put, for example, all the attackers on comeback and defense. That's the only change that I make if I'm winning 2-0. And that is, for example, if I need to go down. Then I know there's a new 5-4-1 going around. I may make a video on that. I don't know if I want to promote that kind of style of play. But I may make a video on that. But that is the 4-2-3-1, and I can always use an extra striker. That would be the most of the time I'll be playing that formation or starting the game with. If I struggle, I then switch to the 3-5-2. This is the formation where if I'm really struggling, this offers a solution. Balance 45-47, long ball forward runs, and 55. And we've got 6 players inside the box. Now this one, it defends in a 4-4-2. Just to make matters simple, basically, what happens is Calabria comes in to make the back 4. Neymar goes to right mid, Griezmann goes to left mid, and Rodrigo stays up front with Ribery. That is how you defend in a 4-4-2, and then these players, they stay in fashion. I've got a video on this anyway, so you could just go ahead and watch that video on my channel. But if you're not, I don't have time, you can just copy and paste them. Stay forward, stay central. We made one change as well, which I'll go over as well. Stay central, get it by and come back. And this is a player that's going to be playing the left mid position out of possession. So we got Griezmann. Neymar's going to be playing right mid out of possession, come back and offense. And then both CDMs on cut passing lane, step out and cover center. The main change we made here is deep lying playmaker. To be completely candid, I just forgot about this. And then I put it on. And I think with this formation, especially when you get possession, and this is the thing, when you have that ability of 2 CDMs to maneuver and get into space, especially for the counterattacks, it actually works quite well with this formation. The key thing with this formation, it does create a lot of confusion. And then you have Calabria on comeback and defense. He makes the right back position when you're out of possession. And then the left mid is on stay forward. So when you're out of possession, you're basically defending in a 4-4-2. In possession, it is a 3-5-2. And that is so this formation I'll be using most of the time. If you do want to get better at FIFA 23, I do have a FIFA School Series, but just before you skip ahead, what if I told you if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money? I can say that because I've been running my paid advanced in-depth FIFA School Series successfully for many years, and thousands of others have joined already and still stay on. This is for all levels of those that want to improve on FIFA, and you won't find these videos on my YouTube channel. These videos are a progressive systematic learning system that teaches you everything from the core mechanics of FIFA to the meta, so you can get better at FIFA as a whole, not just this game, with examples and explanations that go beyond the scope of the YouTube videos. With new videos coming out every single week, these videos also adjust to recent updates and patches so you can stay up to date. So come join thousands of others in a mature audience community for those looking to get better. Patreon.com/NilGuides, link is down below in the description. Now when you join, we already have a library of hundreds of videos that are specifically made for both new gen and old gen, with new videos in FIFA 23 getting added every single week. We also have an additional group coaching as well that we started this year due to high demand and high request. And don't forget, guys, it's a money back guarantee. So if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money. That is the Nil Guides guarantee. Anyway, link is down below in the description, patreon.com/Nil Guides. But anyway, back to the video. The new one then is the 3421. Now, I know many of you guys have been struggling with it, which I'll go over in a second, what changes you can make. The difference between these two is you have the 352, which is the more of the, you have CDMs here. So the build-up play is much easier compared to the 3421 because those centre mids, they sit much higher in the attack. So many people struggle with this formation. So if you do struggle, you can always use a 352. This one also defends in a 442, but we do have press on possession loss. This is why I say when you watch the videos, guys, it's very important you don't skip the videos. I said in the video very clearly, if you struggle, put this on balanced. This is why I say watch the video. You know, it's important to adjust it for your playstyle. I use press on possession loss. If you are really struggling, you can use balance, or you can use pressure on every touch as the in between. Okay, I prefer press on possession loss. It depends on your skill level as well. If you're really struggling, just leave it on balanced. 25 width is very important because the way this shape is in a 442, they're a bit more wider. So this really helps. The depth, again, you can lower this, but 55 for me is fine. Long ball, direct passing, 45. If you're on new gen, I would say direct passing. Old gen, forward runs. Personally speaking, I do like forward runs. If you're just asking me, that's just my personal take on it. It just works better for me in the final third. I think it's better than direct passing, if you ask me. And that is why you see a lot of my formations do have forward runs. But DP works a lot better with this formation. But personally, I prefer forward runs. It's up to you. You can kind of experiment with both. It depends on your playstyle. Again, in this video, this one defends in the 442. The reason why we have press up possession loss on this is because this formation has CDMs. It's a bit more defensive. These two players, they sit back a lot more. The 3-4-2 one, when you attack, you actually have 5 players in a row. Compared to like the 3-5-2, you got that cam. Here you actually have 5 players in a row. Now, many players are complaining that, oh look, it's too attacking. That is the whole idea behind this formation. So it sits higher up the pitch, you have 4-4-2, and you press off possession loss. That's the whole idea behind it. The instruction, so if we go over to the instruction, so the actual player that's on the central, he's stay forward, get it behind, stay forward. He's the counter-attack threat, he's always on stay forward. The next person that's with him is going to be Neymar. So Neymar's on stay forward, stay wide, and get it behind. In fact, both my wingers are on the different instructions. This is how you make it defend in a 4-4-2. So you're saying to the game, you want this player to stay forward, out of possession, stay wide, get it behind, and get into the box for a cross. What we changed from last week, though, is the opposite side's on comeback and defense because he makes that back 4. But we removed again to the box for a cross because if the cross comes in and this player runs inside the box and you lose the ball and you get countered, it's too much of a distance for that player to then run back to the right back position. So you're saying he's always going to send the edge of the box for the cross. That way, if you lose the ball, you can at least recover at least in some appropriate amount of time for the counter attack, and we got to get it behind and come back in defense. Now this one's a bit more simpler. Basically both the left forward and right forward stay central, get it behind, and come back in defense. Simply, what happens is Calabria comes in to make the back 4. They stay put. Ribery comes to right mid, Rodrigo comes to left mid, and Neymar's on stay forward. That is how you defend in a 4-4-2. So you've got Ribery right mid, 2 CDMs, Rodrigo left mid, and then Neymar and Griezmann up top. It's as simple as that, really. A bit more simpler than the 3-5-2, where the positioning makes it a bit awkward to understand. Now this thing, these are centre mids, not CDMs, so you can't use that cut passing lane instruction, which I think is the most important thing. You can't use that on this formation, a cut passing lane instruction. So you got them on stay back, cover centre, and there's no deep line playmaker either because of centre mid. That's why I say this one, they sit higher compared to the 3-5-2. This one is more of the, you can build up better with the 3 centre backs to the CDMs. This one is more gung-ho, more, you know, you have to be a bit more diligent and you have to be a bit more careful when how you build up. If you really want to, you can take this off long ball if you really struggle to build up play alongside that. That's one thing that I forgot to mention actually in that video. I didn't realize it would be that much of an issue. But yeah, cover center, stay back. And back 3, I did try overlap, but I think it was just a bit way too aggressive. It's already aggressive as it is. This is a very aggressive formation. I really love it. You see a lot of the top tier pro players, but this is why the pro players can use it. It's because they have that ability. That's what you have to understand. This is why I say when I make a tactics video, try to see what I talk about and then play the tactics for like not one game, like for like 5-10 games. Then come back to the video and see what adjustments I tell you to make after to make it appropriate for your playstyle. And then that's what, so I'll be using this mainly, for example, if I'm losing it and I want to press. So that is why these two both defend in a 4-4-2. So there's no reason to have the normal 4-4-2 there anyway. So what we've done is we brought back the original comeback king formation. This is the formation if you're down 2-0. And it's 70 minutes, you need to throw the kitchen sink, you need to come back into the game, then this is the formation you use. Constant pressure, build up play, forward runs. So constant pressure, again, being high up the pitch as possible. We want to press as high up the pitch and want to press quickly, fast build up play, get the ball up quickly, forward runs, and 7 players inside the box. The key thing here is both of the centre mids on get forward and cover centre, get into the box for cross. Normally I would sub on like a Bale here, or Perisic is what the players I would sub on. You know, a Tal, someone that can do a bit of both. Because let's say you come back and you go to extra time, I will then switch to one of these formations. You don't really want Bale, for example, playing here as an attacker. So I kind of switch it up depending on what I need. So if I'm losing, let's say, if I can't get the ball back, my opponent is wasting time, then I change this formation. I'm sure you guys use it already. Everyone loves it. The key thing here is, don't forget, come back on offense for all these players and getting behind. Stay central for both the 4 players. The biggest question I get asked is, why are these players not on stay forward? This is the thing. If you're like a top tier player, like a pro player, and this is why people, when they watch them, they bring these players back manually. So you have to do the same thing when you're defending. If you don't do that, what's going to happen is your front 4 is going to stay forward and you're going to have 2 back 4 and 2 midfielders. Any competent player will hold the ball in between this region, between your attackers and your midfielders. And that is why people struggle when all the players are on stay forward. So the most important thing you need to do here is put comeback and defense for both the left mid, right mid and the 2 strikers. They sit higher anyway. And both of the midfielders when you go forward and get forward cover centre. So you're still defending a 4-4-2. 4-2-4 just a more attacking variation. The wing is a bit more attacking. But this one, when you get the ball back, you have 6 players when you're attacking. And then in order for you to have 6 players going forward, we have a back 4. That way you don't get countered. I wouldn't suggest, you can use a D-pad tactic, but I wouldn't suggest having that many players going forward. Because if you lose the ball, you're then probably going to concede. Look, you can be 2-0 down, but you don't want to make it 3-0. You got to be conservative. You can't just throw the kitchen sink completely. You have to be at least some reason. I think let everyone go forward, but at least have a back 4 for stability. I'd rather you have your centre mids go forward than your back 4, like your wing. Because if your left back, right back go forward, the opponent's got like a 4-1-2-1-2 or 4-3-2-1, you can get countered. At least with a back 4, you at least have a man for man in most formations. And that is the weekly tactics. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, if you want to get better at FIFA, you can come to my FIFA School Series, patreon.com/guys. Link is down below in the description, or you can click there. And don't forget, we have the Division 10 to Elite Division Series, where we show every single game from Division 10 to Elite Division. Patreon.com/guys. Link down below in the description. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. And of course, I'll catch you next week. Peace out.